Oh, it looks so good. I love this place. I'm so glad I found this. So yeah, hi guys, and welcome to another video. I found this awesome little view for us with this lovely waterfall, this stream here. And welcome to another video. We're back here on Tom Bluewood, and we're back here in the Tarnished Coast. This video, you can probably see from the length. I'm assuming it will get quite long anyway. This is quite a special episode. This is a long episode. This is, in the entire episode, just one video. We're going to be going over one of the most significant, awesome, in-lore quest chains in the entire game. The actual gameplay is not particularly amazing, but it's really, really cool. Basically, there's two we're going to be doing here on the Tarnished Coast. This is the first one. Kind of had to make a decision over which one I actually wanted to do first, and this is the one I've gone with. So hopefully you enjoy it. Oh, look, there's even more stream up here. Hopefully it's going to be a good video. I'm just hoping I'll do really good justice to this quest chain, because there's just so much cool stuff to talk about. You guys, most people, when you get deep into the Guild Wars lore, the only thing people really care about are to do with the gods. Like this is what people mostly care about, and this quest chain is us teaming up with this Asura here, Kersh, to learn about something to do with the gods. It's really good. So I hope you guys enjoy it. That's enough prefacing, I guess. Let's start up. So we meet Kersh here out in the Tarnished Haven. We've met him before. I pointed him out with a chicken pecking at his feet. And it begins, and this is quite a long quest chain, so here we go.
You need me?
Yes, I do need you. It's about time you have arrived. I've been waiting an eternity. I've studied the beings that you humans call gods. Your stories speak of extremely powerful, almost omnipotent beings who each specialize in one area of superiority. How could beings be all-powerful and yet have more powerful than the other all-powerful beings in one particular facet of their manifestations? It made no sense to me. I decided to explore the various facets of your so-called deities. In fact, I've been tracking one such manifestation in the Tangle. Alright, so this guy, obviously, he's an Asura. He's a lot smarter than us. Most of the way through this quest chain, they talk in a very confusing manner, so I'll try and clean it up as I go through. Obviously, here what he's talking about is how can you have 6 gods who are all supposedly all powerful, because if they're all power and there's 6 of them, then how can one of them not be more powerful than the others? They can't all be all powerful, surely, because then they'd be more powerful than each other. It's a paradox. So this makes no sense to him, makes no sense to me. Let's find out what's going on. Here, take this device. It's called the divination. You can use it to find the source of this manifestation. It's called the Facet of creation. The divination will turn red as you approach the source, and will transition to blue as you travel further away. Even a human should have no trouble using it. Destroy the facet. The divination will make an impression of the signature from the energy released. Return to me when you are finished. Understand? Okay, so this will feel a little bit vague at the moment. You might recognise facets. I've talked about them a little bit before. As we go through, it will get cleaned up though. So not really. I don't understand anything. But I know how to kill things and how to take their stuff. This idiot doesn't feel like it. No, we're not going to be an idiot. We're going to try and keep up with Kersh's superior brain power and learn what the hell's going on here. Okay, so quest added. Let's do it. Now, the main challenge for me with filming this video is I've got a lot to talk about, right? But it's probably going to be quite a long video as well, so I kind of need to not get ahead of myself and talk about loads of stuff before when it's too early. So we'll start off basically by explaining how the quests work. This is the other one, by the way, just a Carnavi. That's the other quest chain, which we'll be doing next video. So how does this work? You'll see we've got a bar here actually in explorable area now, cool, which says proximity to target. So it's a little bit like in missions. Basically what happens is every time you load into an explorable area, the detail looks really low. Why is there so much fog here? There's not usually this much fog, is there? There's no view distance option in Guild Wars in the graphics. Anyway, yeah, so basically every time you enter an explorable area with this quest active, the divination, this facet, this thing we're trying to kill for whatever reason, will pick a different place that it spawns in. There's like 6 different places, and basically you go on a bit of a treasure hunt. You walk around until you start to see this bar fill, and it will slowly get more and more full. You know what Kersh was saying about it starting off red and then turning green or blue or whatever he said? This is basically how it works. When you're just starting to see it, you'll see it slowly creep up, and imagine it's just like a metal detector really, and you just kind of want to figure out and walk around, and it's quite good because it's random locations. So actually ArenaNet were kind of clever when they made this. They made it so that you couldn't just go directly onto wiki and know exactly where it was, and you would actually have to use the bar. However, the game doesn't kind of remember what spawned where, and basically wiki now has documented every single possible location for all these things that we're going to be fighting over this quest chain, and it will tell you by looking at this bar here where they've potentially spawned. So you see how the bar's already charging for me as I've moved very slightly north here. Basically, I know 100% because the wiki has told me, because I've done this quest chain a million. Oh my god, I'm dying really easily there. Yeah, this is the other problem. We're back on Tom. It's kind of annoying playing on Tom. It's a bit like hard mode because we only have 3 heroes and I have no skills on this account at all. Like, you see Vec, I don't actually have any elites, so Vec is actually using a minion master build, kind of weird hybrid thing, just because I've got so few skills to use. But my idea though is that hopefully, as long as we kill fast enough, we'll get enough minions to make up for the fact that we're basically, Vec may as well not be in the party. But yeah, so basically Wiki will say, hey, if you come out of the outpost here and walk north slightly and you see the bar starts to charge, that means the Facet is really close. It's located up here, you might as well go. Now I've actually got really lucky here, because basically the way that you can complete, there's lots of quests where we'll be going to different places and doing this kind of treasure hunt thing, and basically for every single one, if you just keep zoning in and out of the portal until you see the bar start going up really quickly, you can complete these quests with very little effort. But so yeah, I've been really lucky. It could have spawned anywhere, but it actually spawned in the perfect place for me, which is very rare for it to happen. Basically, this video where we're going to be doing so many quests with this same kind of thing, most of it is just going to be me walking in and out of portals without doing commentary, waiting for them to spawn in the right place so I can walk over there and actually film it, which will be super fun. The thing is, the quest's cool in lore, but actually it's one of my most despised one in gameplays, this whole quest chain, because in gameplay terms, the Asuran quest, as you've seen, like, you've got the Polymorph quest chain and a couple of other small ones, but really you don't get many skills or anything from that. Basically, like 60%, maybe more, of all the Asuran skills in the game you get from this quest chain. So you'll tend to find that if you want a really good Asuran skill like Pain Inverter, which you might have seen that I've been using on Matt Greenspring recently, which I went to get for the Underworld videos. Basically, if you want that thing on any character, for every single character you have to complete almost this entire quest chain. So you just get really bored really quickly of continuously going on different characters and zoning in and out of portals all the time. But I mean, I've been lucky here. Hopefully the luck will stick up. I was actually expecting to not utilise this original spawn. I was actually going to give commentary and find it on my own the first time, but since it spawned here, I'll just stick with it like this. So yeah. Quest chain's pretty good. This is basically how it works. There's a good 6 quests before the final quest, which works differently, and they all essentially use this format. The most interesting things that I'm hoping that we'll get out of this video, oh, they do so much damage, or maybe it's just that my health's so low. I really need to sort Tom out, don't I? Yeah, so really the most interesting things here are going to be our trips back to Kersh and seeing what he has to say. But we are about to see what this Facet thing is. Some of you probably remember, some of you probably don't. I have no idea how many will know what, but as soon as we see it, I'll remind you guys where we've seen this thing before, or potentially seen it before. It's all very mysterious. This is why I love it. So yeah, we're going to come up here. Basically, when you get really close to the target, you'll see a ring appear on the floor. I think the ring should appear up this hill. This ring here, and out of the ring will explode a dragon. Okay, it's a small dragon, but it's a dragon. This is called the Facet of Creation. Now you'll remember Facets if you remember them. They were from the Dragon's Lair mission back in Prophecies. We had Glint, who was being protected by 5 different facets. There was one for every 6 facets. Sorry, there was one for every single profession in the game, if I remember correctly. And they all had specific elite skills, and they were all defending Glint, and we had to fight our way through. They looked exactly like this. Now, but they had slightly different names. We just killed, you see this quest is called the Cipher of Melandru. We just killed the Cipher of Creation, okay, and this is Melandru's Cipher. However, in the Dragon's Lair mission, it wasn't called the Facet of Creation, it was called something else. So it's kind of odd. I don't know whether the facets we're fighting right now are the same facets as we were fighting in the Dragon's Lair, but they look exactly the same. They all seem to be based off of a god, and they all carry the same elite skill. So that guy we just killed has got an elite called Melandru's Resilience, which you could have captured from him, and you can also capture it from from Melandru's facet right out here in the Dragon's Lair. So it seems like these are the exact same things that we were fighting through in the Dragon's Lair, but for some reason they're around the Tarnished Coast and the Eye of the North areas right now, so which is quite odd, but we'll go into it a little bit more soon.
I'm busy.
Right, there you go, Kersh. He says, yes, this is what I imagined. I believe my hypothesis is correct. This facet is tied to your god Melandru. There is something concealed in the signature, a cipher of some sort. I will need all 6 to discern the meaning, and for that I will need your continued assistance. You will, however, be rewarded for your efforts. Okay, cool. Right, so we've got Smooth Criminal here. And let's continue on with the next quest. So now you can see we've actually got 4 different choices. We have ciphers from Balthazar, Dwayne, Grenth, and Lissa, and we just did Melange. So these are actually the 5 original gods. Obviously there's Cormyr as well, and Cormyr does have her own quest. It comes after these. But these are the 5 gods that, if you remember, in the Dragon's Lair, we fought their 5 facets. But it gets a little bit complicated here, because in the Dragon's Lair, there was actually a facet for every single profession that was available at launch of Prophecy. So there were actually 6 facets in the Dragon's Lair, despite the fact that there were only 5 gods at the time. So that means there was actually a facet that existed that wasn't particularly tied to a specific god. That was called the Facet of Elements. It was the Elementalists one. If you remember Elementalists at launch at Prophecies, they never actually followed just one god. They always followed all the different gods, basically. They got different elements from different gods. So there was another facet that, and it's kind of very muddly here, because it could be gameplay mechanics interfering with things or all kinds of stuff, but there was definitely a time where there were 6 facets when there were only 5 gods. So that's kind of confusing, but there. Okay, so Kersh says, I believe I see the gears of the eternal alchemy spinning before me. I can almost reach out and turn them with my hands. So this quest chain isn't just cool because it talks about the gods quite a lot. It's actually kind of cool because it teaches us, I think in Guild Wars 1 this is the only time you really see it quite a lot. It teaches us to do with the religion and the beliefs of the Asura. They believe in this thing called the eternal alchemy, which Kersh will talk to us a little bit more about as we go through. So I'm just going to do this in order. I can't be bothered to fiddle around, so we're going to do Balthazar next. To the Asura, he says, there are no gods. Well, here we go. There are no gods. There is only the eternal alchemy. It is the greater scheme of existence of which we are all a part. Your gods are pieces within this design, their manifestations mere facets in the geometric whole. There is more to be learned, more facets to uncovered. There are yet signatures I do not possess. Take the divination with you. The facet of destruction, a manifestation of Balthazar's power, has appeared in the Verdant Cascades. Destroy it and return its cipher to me. Okay, your manifestation is my destiny. Do you really need all of the stuff? Yes, it will get a little bit tedious where we have to go to every single one, but Kersh is good enough at spicing up with some interesting lore each time. Okay, so yeah, he talked a little bit about the eternal alchemy there. There's an analogy that ArenaNet started to use to describe it in blogs and stuff quite recently. Yeah, so it's all the way over here in the Verdant Cassette. It's nowhere near where the Cipher of Melange was. I have no idea why they're all over the world like this, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, but they've started using a new analogy for basically what Kersh was just saying, and that's that the Asura believe essentially that everyone and everything in the universe, it can be represented as a cog turning in a machine, the machine being the eternal alchemy. And they believe that the gods exist, and they understand that they are real and powerful things. However, they just see them as larger cogs in the whole machine, rather than being sort of the ultimate cogs that control everything. They are still just a part of the machine, which is quite interesting. And it's kind of the same as how the Char view the human gods as well. The Char view them as just powerful beings that can be, well, to the Char, can be destroyed and can be conquered and don't need to be worshipped. But so yeah, but I think Kersh will talk a little bit more about the eternal alchemy. It's something that I'm looking forward to in Guild Wars 2, because I'll be rolling in Asura. I'm almost 100% sure of that now that we've seen like all the race weeks. I'll probably be rolling one, even though I am a little bit disappointed with Ratasoon. But yeah, so this is the first time where I'm probably gonna have to start cutting stuff. We're here with Ulfar, near Ulfar, good old Ulfar. I wish his race was a little bit better, but whatever, like the rewards. By the wolf, I bet I could outrun a lot of you barefoot. You're not barefoot though, are you? You're wearing boots. Right, yeah, so I'm going to keep zoning in and out of this portal until when I zone out, I see that my proximity to target's quite high, and then I'll know exactly where the cipher is and the facet is. Sorry, I keep getting that confused. See, you got facets, ciphers, all kinds of horrible terms to fiddle around with. So yeah, I'll do this, and then we'll know where the facet of Balthazar is, or the facet of destruction, should I say. So I'll see you guys in a second. Hey, there we go. That was only like 4 zones. Brilliant. Okay, cool. So as you can see, we walk out and the proximity to target starts charging straight away. So by doing this, you can tell I think there's one of these quests coming up with one of the facets that you go into. There's actually 2 different spawns really close to the portal, and it will be charged for both, and you kind of got to realise which it is. But yeah, it's very simple. It's very cool. Actually, this one's quite interesting because it can happen. You'll find that the facet of destruction, which by the way hits like a beast, as we'll see. It can happen that the Tengu, the Quetzal that are around here, because it's in Quetzal territory, they'll run around, cause him to spawn and pop up, and they'll actually kill him on their own, which is quite hilarious and handy as well. I've never had it happen to me, but I have heard of it happening a few times. It'd be amazing if that happened here, but I seriously doubt it will. Because obviously on this game, I don't know whether I've explicitly said this, but like you can learn quite a lot about how the game handles spawning of enemies and stuff. And basically what happens is you've got to go in range. Like, see these skelk here? If I didn't walk near them, they wouldn't actually exist on the map just yet. You've kind of got to walk near them, and then that's why if you keep running down the same location over and over and over, you'll always see, the first time you see a group of enemies, the first time they ever appear on the map, they'll be at the exact same part of their patrol or whatever. Like, you see these guys engaging here, these Skelk and these Quetzal, they'll always start fighting just as you run over, which is, so yeah, you'd have to be near them and trigger the Quetzal and blah blah blah, which would be pretty stupid because you'd obviously get really close to the Facet and then walk away and miss it, so you wouldn't save much time, I don't think. Anyway, here's the Quetzal crests. These are the things I was talking about that Nicholas the Traveller wanted for Vale at one point, so he could spy on the Quetzal. I'm not gonna get. I'm forcing myself right now not to go on a huge rant about the Tengu, because I think I'm developing a bit of an unhealthy obsession with the Tengu. I never really liked them that much until recently, and now I'm just thinking they'll be the most amazing playable race in a Guild Wars 2 expansion. But here we go. Here's the next ring. This is going to be the Facet of Destruction, and he'll probably one-hit me if I'm not careful. He does a lot of damage. I'll open my party window just so that you can see. If we get lucky, you see that power attack he hits? Oh, I've got Protective Spirit on me, which is very lucky. So it's dropping it all down to 50 damage. But trust me, I've seen him just knock people out in just a single hit before. Does a lot of damage. There we go, see, and he's got Gladiator's Defense, which is the same elite skill as the Facet of Balthazar that we saw in the Dragon's Lair, but the name is slightly different. It wasn't called the Facet of Destruction back there. It was called, I don't know, the Facet of Warriors or something. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not quite that hardcore, but yeah. So I'm not sure whether they're exactly the same things we saw in the Dragon's Lair, but just because of where they are, there's some very interesting conclusions you can come to if you do assume that these Facets of the gods were in Glint's lair. I'll talk about that soon.
Great. Another booker.
The wavelength patterns here are clearly different from the first cipher, but what does it mean? Perhaps the answer lies in that which is alike, or that which is different. I require more ciphers before it will become clear. There is more for you to do, Tom. But for now, I'll take this compensation. So we get another skill, Mental Block. I actually really like this one. This one's helped me in a few farms before. It's very cool. The way it just renews every time you get hit. Basically, it's just, if you can keep it up, it's basically just says, yeah, you take half damage from all physical hits. Anyway, the Cipher of Dwayna is next. Which is quite interesting as well, because Dwayna's like the leader. You'd expect her quest to be the first one or the last one, but it's not. It's like bang in the middle, which is quite odd. I would have liked Lissa to have had a more significant quest, but, you know, can't have it always. Anyway, Kersh says, things are going well as I have foreseen. The ciphers you gathered are of tremendous use, but others remain. The Facet of Existence, a representation of Dwayna's power, has manifested itself within Riven Earth. You will need the divination to find it. What's that, you ask? How does the divination work? Oh, it's nothing elaborate. It interprets the frequencies inherent in divine energies, and why am I explaining this to you? Just get the cipher, please. Alright, sure. By your command. Radiation field as well is used to be a very good skill for a few farms I used to do. Anyway, we're going to go out to Ratasum now, and up to Riven Earth. This one's really good if you can get the spawn right. I don't think you have to kill... If you're careful and you don't aggro some spiders, you don't have to kill a single enemy on the way to her, which is brilliant. Is first time the charm? Is it gonna work? Is it? Oh my god, it did! Wow! Oh, I'm so lucky. Oh, thank the gods, man. Oh man, I'm really enjoying filming this quest chain and showing this to you guys. But one thing that I was really kind of not looking forward to with filming this was the fact that I was expecting to have to zone around hundreds of times before they spawned, because that's usually how it goes for me. But I've been really lucky so far. First time on 2 of the quests, and like 4th time on the 2nd. That's brilliant. Anyway, we're coming up here to where the iguanas were. They're a really easy place to get iguanas. And towards the Golem Foundry as well, if you remember this thing. Actually, when we complete the last mission, you can do, if you complete all of the Asuran Arc, you can come back here and get some help with this fight if you really want. I don't think it's massively important, but you can if you want. Here, see, here's the iguanas. I love iguanas. Well, I've never had one as a pet though. But yeah, alright, let's keep going. They've got such nice detail on them. And Dwayna should be... There's so many of them around. Actually, have I had an iguana? I really can't remember anymore. I know there are some pets I've definitely not had. Right, and we've got a ring here. And here we go. The Facet of Existence. And again, she will have the same elite skill as the one in Glint's Lair. I'm not going to say that over and over and over anymore, but I may as well talk now about what that could mean. Okay, so basically we've got a situation where a facet... Actually, hold on. Kersh has got a nice description of something in a minute. I think it's just coming up now, where he talks about what exactly facets are, which kind of helps to explain, because this is all quite up in the air and a bit mysterious at the moment. Which I suppose is what's supposed to drive you through. This is good, Tom. Very good. It's fascinating. Do you see? Look how there are breaks in the signature. They are not the same amongst the different ciphers. I need more to work with, but we are getting closer. Allow me to give you this for your continued services. I love how the chicken, like, is almost half his height. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but still.
Why are you bothering?
Yes, okay, radiation field, I don't care. Why is that? What?
Here
There we go. Okay,
trouble.
so the cipher of Grenth. The Facet of Death, a revelation of Grenth's power, has manifested within Sparkfly Swamp. I love how Grenth is in the swamp. That just makes so much sense. Are you noticing a pattern? You must use the divination to track down and retrieve its cipher. From that look on your face, I suppose you want to know more. How can I put this so you'll understand? Gods are a part of this world. Think of these facets, I actually did air quotes as I said that, as any one of a number of possible manifestations of those gods. Does that make sense to you? No? Then don't think about it and get me what I require. Now this does actually make sense, okay? So think of the gods, right? We know that the gods have got their own physical form, like Abaddon and like Doom. We fought them in a physical form, but we also know that the gods have got avatars, like we've seen their avatars coming down, and we've now also seen like these facets. So basically the avatars, as far as I can see, are a facet of the gods, as are these dragon looking things. These are also facets of the gods. So gods can appear in many forms, and these dragons are one particular form. So now here's where it gets interesting. They're dragons, right? The gods have got a facet of themselves that appear as dragons, but for Guild Wars 2 we're seeing that dragons are actually really massive, elemental, evil. I kind of want to say evil, but they're just like hungry forces of the world. So why do the gods have facets that look just like dragons? Is that a coincidence that they look like dragons? I mean, I've said it a million times already. Eye of the North Arena knew what the story was that they wanted to tell come Guild Wars 2, but when they were doing this. So why did they choose to point out that the gods were definitely had facets that looked like dragons? I mean, they'd obviously put it in Glint's Lair, and they actually came back to the lore that they'd written or kind of hinted to in Glint's Lair and said, yeah, look, these dragons, gods have dragons in them. They can appear as dragons. It gets even more deep than that. This is, by the way, this is how you do this one. It's quite a long walk. You come all the way out to this cart. And if it starts to charge by the cart, then you know that he's there. But if not, then he's not. But it's fine. This long walk will give me a chance to talk. Yeah, but it gets a little bit deeper than this when you find out that, actually, if you think about it, we went to Glint's Lair. Glint, who, spoilers for Edge of Destiny, but I'm sure none of you care. Glint is the champion of an Elder Dragon. Kraukatoric, who's asleep in the Char Homelands. The Elder Dragons, as you know, they have champions, really powerful generals of theirs that they send out into the earth and can stay awake while they themselves are asleep. And Glint was Kraukatoric's champion or general. This is what Glint was. But for some reason, and we don't know why, but for some reason she turned around and decided she was going to be good, shall we say, and she didn't want to destroy the world, and she ended up helping look after the world. And when the gods came to the planet, they seem to have spoken to Glint, because we've got facets of the gods inside Glint's lair that look just like Glint, that are defending Glint. So if there's ever evidence that the gods had spoken to Glint, then that's it. And what does that mean? Well, that means that probably the gods know 100% about the Elder Dragons. So that's really core to a lot of what people talk about, a lot of theories that kind of go around with the game as to why the gods left Tyria, for instance. Because if you point to this, you can say, right, well, the gods clearly knew that the Elder Dragons existed. Oh, I think we've got it, actually. Proximity to the... Where's the cart? I can't actually see... Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think this could be it. I think it should be a little bit more charged than this, but we'll try it anyway, and if it's not, then I'll just cut it. We're going to be going up this way. So yeah, if there's ever any evidence that the gods knew about the Elder Dragons, then this is it. And it could explain why they decided to leave Tyria. They obviously came to Tyria, did all their stuff, brought life to it, as everybody believes, and then left. And I really am a strong believer that they left because they knew about the Elder Dragons. I really do think that they came to Tyria, it was a barren wasteland, They didn't know why, maybe at the time. They met Glint, though, after a while, when they brought the Forgotten. Because don't forget, Glint was supposed to be like the great protector of the Forgotten, and the Forgotten were really the keepers of Tyria that were looking over the world before the humans kind of came to dominance. So they obviously spoke to Glint, and I, if you ask me, this is what I think happened all those years ago. They found, you know, the true giants had been destroyed. They found Glint. Maybe she was one of the only things left alive. Maybe Rotscale's another champion. I quite like that idea as well, but Rotscale, as we all know, is still quite evil. I'll be showing you Rotscale really soon, actually, because of the Halloween episodes. We'll be going up and interacting with Rotscale somewhat in those, so we'll talk more about him then. But yeah, I think they spoke to Glyn, and she turned around and said, well, yeah, look, there are these powerful elemental forces. They're asleep here on Tyria. They will wake up one day. They will destroy it. And the gods were like, right, well, we're going to bring life. We're going to create something on this planet that can defend itself, that can resist against these. Why do the gods not like the Elder Dragons, though? And the biggest question is, if all of that's true, which I like the idea of, and then they left after a while because they wanted humans to fight for themselves or whatever, why can't they fight the Elder Dragons themselves? And why is a facet of them look exactly like the Elder Dragons? Did they just pick that facet because they liked Glint, and that's why they left images of themselves, essentially, in Glint's lair? Is that it? Or is it that they can't fight the Elder Dragons because they are somehow part Elder Dragons? Because a facet of them is Elder Dragon, and to defeat the dragons, maybe to defeat themselves or something. I don't know, it's interesting, isn't it? It's really cool, though, and I love that this quest chain exists, because if they didn't add this, or if they'd added this but hadn't had the facets looking like the ones we saw in Glint's lair, none of it would seem to be connected. I don't think you can argue that there's not a connection of some form between the gods and the Elder Dragons, and there's been some interaction there by looking at this. I mean, please, guys, tell me your theories. I'm not articulating mine very well, because honestly, it confuses me as well. There's just so many different things that could be going on here, but there's definitely stuff going on. That's not all that I've got to talk about with this quest chain, by the way. It gets very interesting a little bit later on as well, so do continue. But please do, as you're watching through, feel free, because it is going to be a long one. Think about what you think and leave some comments, because I'd love to know. This is like I said at the start of this video that really everybody only cares about the gods. You know, maybe I'm being a bit wrong there. Me in particular, I tend to find that the most compelling lore is to do with early Tyrian history and what happened when the gods got here. Everything to do with the gods, what they are, everything to do with the mists and other worlds and the Elder Dragons themselves. So this quest chain is just, with the exception of the other worlds and stuff, it's just so core to all the theories that go around these days about that kind of stuff. It's just fantastic. And whenever I'm on Guild Wars 2 Guru and looking at the lore forums, this is what interests me most. And there's a reason why most of the threads are about this kind of stuff. We're really getting to a point now where I can talk about all the really interesting things people are coming up with, because throughout the Let's Play we've just developed such a base knowledge of everything that's going on in Tyria that we can really point to all kinds of different bits of evidence. And a lot of you do in the comments, and I love that you do. Yeah, this is where the cipher should be, I think. The facet should be here. But it's not. Which means we're going to have to do a little bit of hunting. Really? It's not here? I thought it should be. Maybe we'll just keep walking along the edge here. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done these quests, except maybe the first one, without looking at Wiki and seeing... Oh, by the way, somebody pointed out this face as well when it was in the background. I had noticed it in the video. It's just I was in the middle of a rant about Gamescom at the time. I love how it actually looks like he's got real eyes in there. So I didn't point it out, but I did try and move the camera to show it, in case you're wondering. That was very much on purpose. Yeah, well, we're still going up here. Let's just keep moving on up. I almost feel like there should be more to talk about with Sparkfly, but I really feel like I've exhausted everything I can say about it due to those other videos we did. Well, we are getting closer. I've never been here. I'm also surprised we've not really fought many things. We're reaching... Oh, look there. Speaking of true giants, there's another... Carpus there, or maybe that's just a dinosaur. I mean, the dinosaurs are quite big. When we reach Hearts of the North, we're going to see a huge fucking dinosaur, absolutely massive. Granted, it is only big because in this game, I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but in this game, as things level, oh yeah, I think I have actually when we're in the Stygian Vale. As things level up in this game, they just naturally get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why your minions, as they get stronger, and why stronger enemies look bigger and stuff. But basically, one of the highest level things in the game is a dinosaur that you meet in Hearts of the North, and it's huge. It is absolutely massive. It's not in this explorer area, I don't think, but Anyway, finishing off, but you know, it could quite easily be that they leave corpses like that. See, I don't like pointing to all of the bodies like this and saying, "Oh, that's a true giant. Oh, that's a true giant," because you know it could be any number of things. It would be nice. Oh no, now the bar's going back down. That's not good. Shit. All right, so it must be around here somewhere in this foggy area that I never showed you. Don't feel like you're missing out though. This foggy area is just more swamp, to be honest. Well, we're getting closer. So I actually quite like the mechanics here. It's just that usually when you come through these quests, you're just rushing through because you're desperate to get some more skills and stuff. And the reason, if you're rushing to get the skills, it's likely that that's because you've got a plan to do a dungeon, or you want to do some elite content or something, and they just feel like a massive pain in the arse. Like when we did the Domain of Anguish videos, you know, I had a full team of 8 people. They're all good friends of mine, the people that came, but I think at least 4 of them I had to get their characters through, and we ran through these quests so that they'd have the correct skills so we could complete it. Well, we're here. I can stop ranting about off-topic stuff now, I guess. Look for the circle, guys. Can you see it? We've come for you. Wait, what's this facet called? This is the facet of death. The facet of death. Wow, that sounds good. I think the one in Glint's Lair is called the facet of corruption. But again, same skills. So why would they have slightly different names as well, I wonder? There we go. As you can see, they're not particularly dangerous. Really, it's the facet of destruction is the only one that I'd say watch out for. He's the only really dangerous one. All right, now the dinosaurs have started fighting us, but we're done. So let's go back. One more after this. Particularly my favourite god. Little bit annoying to get to the facet, but you know we can handle it. And I do want to make this clear. Lissa is actually, I'll read this first. I'm beginning to understand. There are so many pieces, so many variables. No wonder I haven't seen this before. These ciphers were the strings on the harp of the eternal alchemy itself. If only I could pluck them with my fingers. We are nearly there, friend. Oh, we are. Assyrian scan. See, they're all nice skills. I love all the Assyrian skills. Alright, last one. We're almost there. The answers we seek are near, yet there is more that must be done. The facet of illusions, a manifestation of your deity, Lissa, has appeared within the Magus stones. Defeat it and bring its cipher to me. Quickly now. Our time draws near. Your urgency compels me to oblige. Alright, let's go. So yeah, I do want to make this clear. I like Lissa. It's partly because my main is a Mesmer, but it is pretty much entirely because of the cutscene at the end of the Gates of Madness. That's, in my opinion, it's only closely rivaled by the final cutscene at the end of Eye of the North, and that one's even only really good because everything in that cutscene, there's at least 3 different things that the final cutscene of Eye of the North goes into that are really, really cool and hinting at really big plots in Guild Wars 2. But it still can't be outdone by what Lissa does and the gods do at the end of that Gates of Madness cutscene. And I still don't feel like I freaked out enough in my Nightfall Let's Play when we saw that, because it's so good. But yeah, right, so we're coming out here. You remember, this is actually quite cool. And ties into what I was talking about later. You remember the lore about the Wind Riders? How they kind of gather at magical areas that with particular magical properties? Well, can we sneak past? Shit, we're not going to be able to, are we? See, these guys are annoying. Well, they are bald quite nicely, so hopefully I can just Death Blossom them out. Yeah, but you know how these things only come to areas that tend to have a lot of magic to do with them. I do wonder whether they gather around here because of the... Oh god, I wasn't even looking at my proximity thing. Basically, Lissa's thing will appear there, okay? So I'll cut it till we get to about here. See you guys in a sec. Don't suppose it's gonna happen. Don't suppose... Oh my god, it did! Oh... Oh, I'm so glad this luck is being caught on camera, so that everybody... Luck's a weird thing, because, to be honest, everybody thinks they have terrible luck, and the only reason people think they have terrible luck is because... And it's a shame that human nature is like this. We only think we have bad luck because we forget about all the good luck really quickly, but brood on the bad luck for ages. And I swear that's true, because like, if I wasn't filming this and actively talking about it myself, I would just be thinking to myself right now, huh, I've been a little bit lucky. And then I'd forget about it, and then the next time I was unlucky I'd say, oh, I have such bad luck. It's not true at all. I'm going to try and avoid these guys now. I'm not going to show you me killing them twice. Oh, maybe I should, because they're just going to keep pursuing us and slowing us down. Alright, hold on one sec. So yeah, do try to remember it when you when you get good luck in you know, not even just in games but with anything, because if you let yourself forget it, you'll just end up more bitter than maybe you should be. Speaking of luck though, by the way, I've been completing Eye of the North on my other characters, sort of getting them through the arcs that I haven't shown them doing. So like for instance getting Matt through the Char Homelands. And when I was going through the Char Homelands, it's really weird that it happened, because I was talking to someone in the comments recently about it. I got a black die on Matt, which is like the second one I've ever gotten, I think. Or maybe the third in these entire videos, and like all 200 of them. Or 300, or... It's weird, now that I'm doing other games, it's hard to tell how many exactly Guild Wars videos there are, but I think it's safe to say that they're still in the majority. Done maybe, what, 50 tops? Of other ones. Anyway, here we go. So we're coming to this pool, this beautiful little waterfall. I think it's quite fitting that they managed to put the facet of Lissa, or the facet of what's this facet called? Of illusions. Yeah, near a really pretty place, near water. I wonder if all of the spawns are in nice places like this. Oh, we've got chests as well, and I do have a lockpick. Yeah, primitive staff, screw it, and we break the lockpick. Lovely. See now I was unlucky there, so it's all balanced out. Alright, okay, so there we go. That's the next one. Man, I'm flying through this. This is brilliant. What are we at the moment? We're coming up on, what, 40 minutes for the video? I think. Depends how much I cut out. From the looks of you, Tom Blewett, I bet you've got animal heads on your wall. Doesn't everyone with the title of Slayer of Beasts? Oh, yeah. Except the fact that my character doesn't have a house in Guild Wars 1. But we'll ignore that for now. The one you call Lissa, Goddess of Illusions. Does she mock us? Taunt us? Perhaps she is trying to tell us something. My eyes are open and my ears strain to hear. We must gather the last cipher. Only then will we truly understand. Yeah, I just added a word there, but I thought it was fitting.
Why are you...
Alright, here we go. This is the last one. Well, kind of. There's another one after this. So, the stories of your god Cormyr fascinate me most. To think that a mortal, a human no less, could transcend into something greater. Was it all a part of the eternal alchemy? Was there some hidden design that preordained it would happen that way? Or does a power exist that can go against the schemes of fate? These questions render me sharper than any claw. This is it. Only her cipher remains. Take the divination, go to Arbor Bay. The facet of spirit will be there. We've come this far. I'll see it through. Okay, cool. So this is you have to do all this to get to Pain Inverter. It's crazy. So we're going to come out into Arbor Bay. And yeah, I mean, Cormyr turning into a god, it's just... It's brilliant, because and with Kersh talking there, it's kind of like he's implying that he's wondering, it seems to me anyway, whether Asura should be able to become gods, or whether it's supposed to just be humans that can become gods. And I actually do think Asura probably can become gods. I do think it's just sort of transcending into a more powerful form, because we can see that it looks like, and I've talked about it quite a lot before. Oh, are you serious? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's happened first time again. Is ArenaNet watching me and they're like, oh, Wooden Potatoes is filming this. We're going to help him out so that his video is easier to film and he doesn't have to spend 2 hours zoning in. Really? It happened again? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Wow. Okay, right, yeah, so what was I talking about? Yeah, no, it looks like the gods are of different races, right? Like, you've got Grenth with his ram skull head, whether that's his real head or whether he's just put the head of a different monster on there, I guess we don't know. Even though this is spawned close, actually, I will say, I said that I knew really the facet of destruction was dangerous. This one can be a little bit dangerous as well, only because of all the crate around. We all know how nasty and evil the crate are, especially if you guys went off and read that blog post. They're actually quite kind of dangerous in game as well. Actually, I do remember me being up there and saying that they weren't that dangerous in game, which is a shame. But when they all converge on you and there's lots of patrols, yeah, they can be just like anything. They can be dangerous. So do watch out for it. We are about to fight another facet of the god. I wonder whether they should have made the facets of the gods like really difficult boss fights or not. That probably would have just pissed me off more when I'm trying to rush through the quest chain to complete stuff. But probably would have been interesting for people who play it just once, and you know, they'd probably have a lot more fun that way. Anyway, I think she appears here. What are the dragons, boys or girls? I don't know. It's so weird. Why are they dragons? I just can't get enough of that. Why are facets of the gods dragons? I think the gods must be part elder dragon or something, because elder dragons really, they're just elemental forces. Maybe they're just maybe the elder dragons are just facets themselves or something. I don't know. You can probably hear it. This is the kind of stuff that I talk about on forums now. Like, I don't have the answers here. There are no answers yet. Oh, there she is. Facet of spirit. I wonder if there ever will be answers as well. Like ArenaNet talk a lot about how they have their open door policies with the way they view story and stuff, and how they don't like to close doors. And that sounds kind of cool, and it does give them more creative freedom, sure. But it also worries me that we'll never get definitive answers for things. And sometimes I see interviews with like Jeff Grubb and stuff, and it just sounds like they don't have definitive answers yet. And there's something about that just depresses me a little bit, you know, because it just makes it all seem a bit pointless talking about it and looking at it really deeply all the time. I don't know, do you guys ever feel like that? It's like I used to be really into Lost on TV as well. This is a bit off topic, but you know, like really into it. Like through season 4 and 5, I was like on the forums, at Lostpedia forums all the time and stuff. And there got to a point where you'd look at enough interviews from the writers of the show, and you realise that you, as a fan, actually knew a lot more about the game than they did, about the game, about the TV show that they did. So and that they had to have a continuity person to tell them if what they of the new stories they were writing were wrong, and it just kind of made it feel a bit more hollow because you knew that the writers didn't know how it was going to end either. I don't know. It's not a big deal, but it's something I sometimes think about. Anyway, inconceivable. I suspected as much, but to actually be proven right. The ciphers of these signatures, to put it in simple human terms, are giving us coordinates. There is a place that we must go. The answers must be there. Alright, here we go. This is the last quest. This is where it all ends. This is where there's another kind of twist at the end. Here we go.
Oh, great. Another booker.
Difficulty Master. The time has come, Tom. I've deciphered the message hidden within the magical signatures. Their coordinates point into a location in Varahar Fells. Varahar Fells? Why Varahar Fells? Why, when we've seen all the rest have been in the Tarnished Coast areas? What's significant about Varahar Fells? Well, I pointed it out in a very recent episode. We'll be going there, I'll show you. You have been useful thus far, for a human. I do not know what we will face there. Go to where the message instructs. The answers will be waiting there. And so shall I. And we get a cool staff as the reward for this. Okay, the truth is out there, I don't want to believe. I believe that is a reference to the X-Files. I think Wiki says that, at least. You'd have to check up. I've never really watched the X-Files. Is the X-Files the one with the really, like, eerie intro theme? Because I love that theme. They used to scare me shitless as a kid, though. I'm not going to lie, it absolutely scared the crap out of me. Anyway, let's get going. It is a difficulty master quest, but I don't remember it being particularly hard. And I might have to bite my tongue for saying that, because I'm probably going to start wiping here, aren't I? I feel like every time I say, oh, it's not that hard, I have to hedge it now, because I might end up wiping and look like a complete moron. Anyway, here we are. We're at the Varahar Fells. Where are we going? Oh, we're going there. Do you guys know where that is? Do you recognise where that is? Hopefully you should, because we've been there at least 3 times already in the Let's Play. I'm all up for having a super long special episode, but I will probably speed this walk up just because I don't want it to be like an hour. Although I'm sure some of you would love that. I don't know whether I could tolerate listening to myself for an hour, let alone you guys, so I'll see you guys in a second. Oh, look, white mowers! Oh, damn, and last episode I spent so long, was that last episode? I spent so long zoning in and out looking for them, it took me like 10 minutes, and there you go. Wow, so this is actually the other location. There you go, that's the white mowers. Wow, man. If I was looking for white mowers as well, I would just be having such good luck. I feel like my luck's being wasted somewhat, though. Like, can I please channel this good luck into, like, I don't know, the lottery or something, please? Oh, here we go. So this is why it's in Varahar Fells. We're coming back to the haunted forest. This is the area again where the mists seem, and this is the biggest reason for me why it seems this way, where it seems that the mists are close to Tyria. This forest, this haunted forest, there's so many quests here, there's so many. We'll see another one at Winter's Day, and they're all to do with spirits and all kinds of really powerful things interacting with Tyria and stuff going on, and it's always in this circle of rocks. It's weird that this circle of rocks is such a vague thing, but it always makes me think of like Stonehenge or something, just a really mysterious odd place. Anyway, here's Kersh, and he says, undoubtedly this is the place to which the coordinates point. The 6 shall converge here. Why here? Why here of all places? But they are here. And here's number 1. What we're going to do is basically run a gauntlet here. We're going to fight all 6 of the facets that we've just fought, one after the other. So here we go. And Kersh is going to give us dialogue each time we kill one, as he tries to translate what the hell is going on here. There you go. There's the facet of spirit down. I don't think it's the same order we did the quests in either, which is quite interesting. There's the first one, and the second one pops up. The facet. Oh yeah, it is actually the facet of destruction. Wait, wasn't the facet of spirit Cormier's one? I can't tell. Well, we're fighting Balthazar's now. When we kill him, Kersh will speak to us. Die, you stupid dragon. Getting some practice in for Guild Wars 2. Kersh says that they do not divulge their secrets easily. Alright, no worries, Kersh. We'll smash him out of it. I do feel a bit bad, actually. I quite like the gods, and yet this whole quest, it just involves us running around destroying, essentially, parts of them. Anyway, here's Dwayna, the facet of existence. And like I said earlier, I wonder how this other facet, the one of the facet of the elements that seemed to not be tied to a god yet existed in Glint's lair before, how that ties into things. Clearly that was meant to be, I think, at launch of the game in reference to elementalists, because there was one facet for every profession. But, you know, it's called the facet of elements. It's not tied to a specific god. Is it tied to the Elder Dragon somehow? They're described as elemental forces. I don't know. Anyway, Kersh says, this is the eternal alchemy at work. Even your human gods cannot stand against its inevitability. Down goes Lissa. We absolutely destroyed her. I managed to daze her. That was brilliant. Here comes the last one, Cormier. Look, the snow here looks like ash as well. It's actually kind of scary. Facet of creation. Oh, no. This is the last one. Yeah, this is... I think we killed Cormier first and Melandri last. But here we go. So Kersh says, at long last, an ephemeral spirit appears, who says, I'm not. He says a lot of stuff. Okay, the ephemeral spirit, a mysterious spirit appears and says lots of untranslatable stuff. We can't speak to the spirit. There's no dialogue. Imagine it's all mysterious. And it disappears just like that. Boom. Spirit from the mists appears along with the gods. A human spirit at that, and then disappears. Kersh says, wait, you lead me this far only to tantalise me with further mysteries? Know this, if it takes until the sun sets on the final day of creation, until the wheels of the eternal alchemy seize up and tear apart the fabric of the universe, I shall decipher your secrets. And with that, the quest chain's over. And you can speak to Kersh to get your reward. And he says, where I have sought answers, I have found only questions. There is meaning behind these words. I have memorised all that was said and will ponder it. I will not forget the assistance you've provided, Tom. Perhaps one day, when I find my answers, I will see you once again. At the end of the path. Oh, man, I love the end of this quest. It's so good. All the dialogue, everything. So there you go. And now Kersh actually has a different... sort of intro dialogue once you've completed the quest. He says, I've gathered the pieces to the puzzle. I see them aligning before me, but great works require ample time. Leave me now to ponder. I wonder if Kersh kind of in the end becomes sort of one of the starters of the Inquisitors, or you know, the evil faction of Asura, who only want to take control of the eternal alchemy. But certainly they're working on the most interesting stuff, so good luck, Kersh. We never do find anything else about him in Guild Wars Beyond. Maybe one day we will. But yeah, but that's not it, guys. Actually, there is something else to this quest, which I'm sure those of you who know about have been dying for me to mention. So what the spirit says, this mysterious human spirit, I mean, you all can see how significant this seems to be, and says this random stuff. This is translatable. This is some guy, I don't know how he did it, I'm not sure how it worked, but basically it's like a cryptograph, and basically it's just like a substitution cipher, so you can swap letters around and it will actually say stuff. I'm not saying it's an anagram, but if you apply the correct cipher to this text here, it can be translated. There's real writing here, and it's so tantalizing and weird. Okay, so I'll edit the words on the screen as I read this out, but this is what it says. The first line says, and reading onwards, it says, an offering to those who seek, beyond the mists, beyond the dreams, on distant shores of a land unwaking, answers there lie in waiting. I mean, how awesome is that? People have talked at length about what the hell this is talking about. It's talking about a dream, possibly the Sylvari. People talk about the dream of the dreams. A distant shores of a land unwaking, a land of dreams beyond the mist. People talk about utopia and everything that potentially could have happened there. Are they referencing that? Are we going to be going there in Guild Wars 2? And answers lie there and wait. People have gone into real depth looking at this and reading really deep. But yeah, it's awesome, is it? I kind of mentioned it before. I'm not convinced ArenaNet know what it means. I'd love to think they do, but I'm not sure whether they even know what it means, because they like to leave their open doors, and I don't know. But it's very cool, isn't it? It's amazing. I love this quest chain. In lore, that's why. I mean, you've got to agree with me, right? This is really cool stuff, and hopefully more stuff we'll learn about in Guild Wars 2 for sure. But that's not the only quest here in the Tarnished Coast. There is another one, and that's what we'll be seeing next video. Boy, this one's been a long one, coming up on an hour. This is definitely the longest video I've ever done for my channel. I think we've broke a record here today, guys. But I hope you enjoyed it. I loved filming it, especially because of all my good luck. Tomorrow, I hope you will join me, and the long videos won't. So I doubt the next one will be so long. But tomorrow is just as cool, because as I was saying, there's certain things that really interest me in this game. Pre-human and god history on Tyria really interests me. And what races do we know were there before that? Well, the Massart, and yeah, that's what the next quest chain is about. We're going to be learning more about the Massart and what's going on with them in Guild Wars 2, and speaking to our buddies in the White Mantle by speaking to this Justicar. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and take care, and I will see you. Hopefully we can get everybody to wave. I will see you next time. See you next time, guys. Come on, wave. Wave, damn it. Wave. Wave. Why do I have to... There we go. You have to do it twice. If you do it 3 times, will they all do it? Talon can't wave, neither can Vivek. I don't think non-human characters can. But yeah, okay. See ya. See you later, guys.